Come on, YouTube. There we go. We are live.
Got one coming in live. The stream is doing the streamy stuff. Hopefully. There it goes. That took a minute.
Yeah,
YouTube popped right up for me, man. Twitch was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if you guys doing stream or not. But then I saw it there and was like, hey, we're live. And I'm like, well, I guess it's live. So let me go ahead and refresh. I got to pop out some chats, everybody. What is going on? Middle of the week. We got some Wednesday stuff going down, getting ready for you. Pop out one chat. Come on, Twitch chat. You know you want to pop out. Come on. You can do it. What do we got this week? We're going to talk about the Mozilla thing. Yeah, Mozilla's got some stuff going on, which is no surprise, but also, the last version of Hexchat. For now, probably. Forever. This week. That's going to be a thing. FreeBSD is joining the anti-32-bit bandwagon. And of course, everybody's favorite Linux distribution, Canonical, makers of Ubuntu, have another snappy situation. Just like they did the last two times. It's the same problem they had. Let me go live in our Discord so you got a live audio stream. There we go. Did I send out the social medias? And boom. There we go. Now we got everything running. Ho, ho, ho. There we go. Boom.
Okay.
I got most of the bits flipped. Like I got like 11 of 13 of them put together. All right. There we go. Yeah, what I don't like keeping the live dashboards open while I'm streaming. Never been a fan of that.
Yeah.
All I do is think about how many CPU cycles
it takes, yeah. That's why I like using the chat pop-outs.
But when you do that and you close those windows, the next time you open the browser, the chat windows pop back open.
Yeah, there's that.
Then you got to manually close those and they'll go away. It's a weird thing. Oh, man. Getting wound up. Getting going. I got a lot of recording to do this afternoon. It's going to be a late night. But
I do too.
I got to get things torn down and plugged up and resituated, so we're going to hop into the show.
Okay.
Pretty quick today. I was up late last night doing ADR work, which is
Hi, Boo.
soul crushing.
Oh, yard work?
ADR.
Oh, ADR. I said yard work.
No, doing dialogue replacement for a video. Where you got to sit and meter stuff out with time codes. If it was for my own stuff, it wouldn't be a problem, but it is commercial work, so.
Okay.
It is boring and tedious. Steve's kind of here. All right, so we're going to get going. I'm going to start the show in 8 minutes.
Okay. So I will go take my break. Let's see. Hello, Arthurian! And Steve has been. Cool. Be right back.
All right. Let's have a look and see what happened. New Atari games? Oh, right. Intel cheating on benchmarks again. Like that, you just expect that from Intel at this point, don't we? Like Intel cheating at benchmarks, like, yeah, that's what they do. And I'm kind of mixed on that Borderlands trailer, because I'm not really into Borderlands, but it looks like they remade Guardians of the Galaxy. Which I guess that kind of fits, because I'm not going to pretend I knew anything about Guardians of the Galaxy until I watched the movie. There we go. Put that together. I wish I could find a better source for that. Oh. trying to get together a video for that weird Tascam Fire One thing. This is one of the dangers of buying something online off of eBay for no other reason than that looks weird. Sometimes, I mean, it's always weird because that's why you bought it, but you plug it in, you're like, oh, this is useful. I know. I'm kind of at that point right now. I'm like, well, I have to explain why this is useful. This is not a dumb product. And it was kind of interesting because basically they made something that didn't exist until 2020, back in 2007. Like, the industry just forgot that you could make something like this. Then PreSonus made one. I reviewed one for Interfacing Linux. Effectively the same thing. Wrong ally. Oh, that's kind of neat. A homebrew Steam Deck from, Let me take a look at that. Let's have a look. Framework. You know, that doesn't look too chalky. Okay, I take that back. That looks extraordinarily chalky. It's cool. Are you running Windows on that? Ew, never mind. Whatever, this entire thing's invalid. Forget it. Didn't happen. Nobody saw that. Why would you go through all of that trouble and put Windows on it? Like, the mind, it boggles. I don't get it. I don't understand. We gotta cut some lights on. And we can put that together. But, like, building, I mean, I love the idea of framework. Like, the module bits of framework and how they've designed that, you know, because I'm a huge fan of keeping stuff out of landfills. That's why I'm so big on these FireWire audio interfaces. But having that, the module bits and being able to repurpose them and what they've, you know, I think they worked with, who was it? Corsair to release the, like the little case that you could put the laptop motherboard in. Love it. But I'm still mad at that dude for putting Windows on his homebrew Steam Deck. I'm not going to let that go. Just not. Hello. Just getting ready for the show. This is the part where you go, what did I forget? Hopefully not anything. We can stick all that together. Now, I did post, I'm sure you'll get the information from a bunch of, like, rebloggers and stuff like that. There was a, Collabra. Well, no, not Collabra, Codeweavers has submitted a kernel patch which has NT sync variable. Basically, what this means to you is they were seeing 600% performance gains in wine games. Like, look at this. Look at that. Like, I did not know this level of performance was still left on the table, right? Like, I thought we were doing pretty good with the XVK, DK, but no, like, this is going to be jarring. It's going to be jarring, especially for my brothers and sisters that love to play Angerfoot. I have no idea what that is, but hey, man. Yeah, the numbers are kind of crazy, and that a lot of stuff just gets interesting. Like, that's just probably what they had laying around to test, and they're like, hey, some games don't see a performance, but some system configurations don't, which is fine. I want to play with it. It is very involved. to get it up and running right now, which is why I'm not playing with it. But yeah, this is we typically only have a couple of like quantum leaps in performance. You know, we had that quantum leap when we went from, you know, Wine's implementation of DX, you know, up to DX10, DX11 and above were just out of the question. If you had a DX11 game, you couldn't run it with one. And then we got Proton, you know, what eventually became Proton DXVK. Like that was a big leap. And I thought we were kind of good there. I thought we were kind of pushing the boundaries, you know, and like, you know, F-Sync 2 with Wine, getting that. I'm like, we're good. If this pans out like the way it's going to pan out, like, you're just looking like another 30 to 50%. I'm averaging here, maybe somewhere in there, across the board with a lot of games. So
yeah, I was reading about it. It's so cool. Yay! Oh, hi Monica. Hi community time. Yay! Hello. Steve Husband posted the video of me driving Autopia cars at Disneyland. That's the only time I can drive legally. That's an Autopia car.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Let me go grab a drink, Jill, and
okay.
We'll hop into it.
Yeah, absolutely, Monica. 3 weeks to scale. It's overwhelming. But I'm excited. I've been really working hard. Packing, getting our booths together. It's been rather insane. And Monica, are you going to be working at a booth this year or roaming the expo hall and visiting with everyone, doing a little bit of everything? Oh, Thunderbird. Okay. Oh, great. Wonderful. I was hoping. Cool. That's awesome. That's my mail client of choice. So I've been using it for years. Oh, that's wonderful. Nice. Oh gosh, I hope the Thunderbird booth is near us. Monica, do you know the number of your booth? Where Linux Chicks is 418 and Destination Linux is 420. Yeah, I'm hoping you're close. That would be awesome. And I got the Lutris booth near me too, just like last time. But we did that on purpose. Oh, that'll be great. Yeah. You know what? I didn't even check when Easter was. I need to look at my calendar. Oh my gosh. Because usually Scale's the weekend before when we have the time change. And this year it's a week later. Okay, let me go to March. Oh, St. Patrick's Day is a Sunday of Scale. Okay. And then Easter is 2 weeks from that. Good. I'm glad there's going to be an Easter egg hunt. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good idea, Steve Husband. We need Strider to get some merch. Yeah, Donna M, huh? Community tea time. Thunderbird for the win. Do. Yeah, so Easter is in 2 weeks after Scale. Okay. But I am happy Scale's not on daylight savings time this year. Oh my gosh, that's always so difficult. That Sunday rolling in for the keynote when we just had daylight savings time. That might be one of the reasons why they changed another to the next weekend. Actually, I meant to ask ask Elon about that. Oh, I like your emotes, community time. Monica. Raw eggs, says Steve Husband instead. Oh, hello, Keegan the Tennessean. It's nice to have you back as well. Or Asus VivoBook running Debian. Awesome. Oh, yeah, they're so cute. I'm looking at them right now on Twitch. I'm gonna take a picture of those. Those are so cute.
Kind of again, this is something that I've we need to abolish regional time. We need to set the UTC worldwide.
Yeah.
And just be
make
done
life
with
so
it.
much easier. Yeah.
We only have one planet. What time is it right now?
Thank you, Monica. Yeah. I do have emotes, but they're not on. Oh no, there's one on Twitch. For Linux Gamecast, my salty one, but it's not one that I made. I think it's on there. Yeah.
I think it's on Discord.
Is it just Discord?
Yeah, I don't know. I can find. It's not like I can't find out right quick, right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Good.
I'm pull up the stream manager. Take a look.
Maybe it isn't.
We can go on an adventure. Where are the emotes? Affiliate. Streaming tools.
Yay, rabbit holes. Yeah, so the one that community made for me on Discord is me smoking a pipe like a pirate. It was Linux GNU. And he drew a pipe and smoke, so it's called the salty emote.
Man, Twitch really wants me to run some ads. Go away. There we go. I found the emotes. Yeah, I guess it's just on our Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there they are. We don't have many Twitch remotes. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got like 6. I've never messed around with Twitch emotes. I uploaded a chunk of them way back when.
Yeah, Monica Steve has a walker as an emote. Aw, poor Steve. Thank God we're not there yet. Hopefully I'll never have to have that.
People are crazy about their emotes. You see them all the time. And, you see it a lot. Twitch has really made the,
Yeah. Made him popular.
I might have used them more if it didn't require more work than just, you might get a smiley face out of me, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I also remember that guy tried to go back and remove those cartoons from YouTube after he got
oh, yeah.
famous. He got gainfully employed. He's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, so true, Donna. Now, I am very, very, very careful with my back, and I take medicines so I won't get osteoporosis. that helps, or take my vitamins. No, I've never had back issues, so that's at least one thing. I have other issues, but not that.
All right.
Yeah, I've always been extremely careful because I've had to, in my jobs in the past, lift a lot of heavy computers and servers and that kind of thing. I don't do that anymore. I usually have my Steve husband help me, or we get a dolly. Yeah, at this point, he uses a dolly too because he's older than I am. Yeah, and CRTs, yeah. 100-pound, my 100-pound 21-inch Mitsubishi Diamond Scan. That has a redundant tube in it. It's insane. It was made. It's my heaviest one in my collection, and that one also has the ability to go out to Mac OS, to Sun, PC. It's got all the different proprietary connectors on it, including Component, which is how I used it for years and years. But it was a sweet monitor. That's what helped me in my animation career, so I could see the screen. Yeah, Strider, yeah. That's a really good point. It's one of the reasons I hate laptops, because I have to be so close to the screen and you're like hunched over. So I end up just, if I'm using my laptops, I hook up a monitor to them.
There we go. There's the bot. Cool.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Turbo. We got nice gems. Nice bits. All right, everybody, let's rock and roll. We got our little Twitch button. It's finally said we is live. So let's rock and roll with this. Boom. Get back up to the top here. All right. Yeah, Strider's got a bunch of emotes because he keeps making dumb faces and posting them on Discord. So that's his punishment. Strider has the highest frequency of posting pictures of himself when I happen to have GIMP open. Oh, then you end up with an emote. Like,
yeah.
Post pictures of yourself doing dumb stuff in our Discord at your own peril. All right. Let's rock and roll. I want to make sure, like I did on Saturday, Joe, let me get a little clap test from you in just a second, because I got to realign the audio and video because of some new audio plugins. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. All right. Mm-hmm. One for me, too. I should be within a couple of milliseconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hello, Michael Salmons and on YouTube chat. Welcome.
Turbo.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I was looking at the picture of Michael Salmons, and yes, that's Turbo. We're so used to calling each other by our names on Trackmania.
Okay.
But I know all their real names too.
Here we go. Hey everyone, welcome back to Linux Weekly, daily Wednesdays where we sit back, relax, take that midweek break, talk about some of the fun things going on in the world of Linux and open source. I'm Vince Stone, joined every week by Jill Bryan and everybody watching us live on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, we're back on YouTube this week because I had a few minutes this morning and I went through the arduous process of setting that up. YouTube, fix that. It used to work just great. I could just go live. Not anymore. What's up? What's new? We got plenty of stuff to talk about this week. We got Mozilla. We're a little late getting to that, but, things have kind of settled down so we can talk about it. As the show title might suggest, the last version of Hexchat is coming out. FreeBSD has ended 32-bit support. Pour one out for them. And the Snap Store is doing Snap Store stuff.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. What's up? What's new? Jill, you still getting everything put together, getting excited for scale?
Yeah.
It's kind of what you're focused on right now.
Oh, it sure is. It's the actually U.S.'s largest community run Linux event. So it's huge, the Southern California Linux Expo, and what I'm looking forward to, Ven, is meeting all the cool people, including community tea time in chat, otherwise known as Monica. She's going to be at the Thunderbird booth, so I'm really excited about that because now she's working with Thunderbird, and we got Strider, otherwise known as the creator of Lutris. He's going to have a booth. And he's going to be next to my Linux Chicks LA booth and next to my Destination Linux booth. So I got lots of people coming, and I think Matthew has Glorious Egg Roll coming. Yay! And we also have Empty from chat coming, and Mir PPC, and Alan from chat. So we got lots of good people. And, of course, I can't forget my Steve husband. So Scale is actually March 14th through the 17th in 3 weeks from now at the Pasadena Convention Center. And you can use code CHIX on the first page of registration to get 50% off your Scale Pass. So that's one of the things been going on with me. The other thing, in between all the Scale planning, I've been continuing to play my favorite open world adventure game, Genshin Impact. And I even have... Here's a little Paimon figurine from the game. She's one of my favorite characters from the game. She's kind of like a little cherub in the game.
What's that game about? You just run around, do stuff?
Yeah, it's basically an action adventure open world RPG game, and you collect characters actually to engage in battle with everything from monsters to slimes. This is a pyro slime. It was the first slime I encountered in the game, so I had to have this little pyro slime plushie. But yeah, it's really, it's kind of like Breath of the Wild, if you've ever played that. And it's good. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. And you have lots of campaigns you can do to, uncover lots of perks and extra goodies and weapons and food, and you can acquire people. But you could also just run around the beautiful environment and have fun looking at all the slimes and the beautiful sunsets and the grass. It's absolutely freaking beautiful game. If you're into anime as a genre, you would love Genshin Impact.
Take your word for it.
Yeah.
Couple of things I've been playing around with. I've been, I bought that Fire One thing, which I talked about a couple of weeks ago. And there's a danger to just buying stuff on eBay because you're like, what's that? Turns out it's kind of useful. So I ended up having to do a bit more research into it and found a bunch of fun stuff. But speaking of interfacing Linux, go check out the website. Let me know if you run into any bugs, because I had to completely change the caching system on the back end because Google's like, hey, this site exists now. Mm-hmm. And you might have noticed the last 2 days it's been struggling a little bit. Oh, which is good. If it's targeted for, that's what I put it together for, like an easy place to get information about audio, video production under Linux. So I'm glad, but there might be some little gremlins floating around in the background that you need to watch out for. Keep that in mind. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Playing around with that stuff. So let's go ahead and hop into what we got going on this week, which is the Mozilla announcement, but not the good type of announcement.
Yeah, this is always sad. So Mozilla, the makers of our favorite, my favorite and Ven's favorite open source web browser, Firefox, has just announced layoffs. It's always so sad. They are scaling back development on many projects and are letting go 5% of its workforce. And so that turns out to be 60 employees, which is quite a bit. And unfortunately, some of the projects being cut back are the Mozilla VPN, Relay, and other privacy products, including actually its latest project, the Online Footprint Scrubber, which was a paid-for feature that just came out like last week. And these layoffs are happening on the heels of Mozilla announcing a great thing. It's return to focusing development on the Firefox web browser, which I am really happy about. And that's really good news. And as a result, there is actually a new release, which is Firefox 123.0. And one of my favorite new features, and this is a quote from the Mozilla Firefox release notes blog. Having any issues with website on Firefox, yet the site seems to be working as expected on another browser? ? You can now let us know via the web compatibility reporting tool. By filling a web compatibility issue, you're directly helping us detect, target, and fix the most impacted sites to make your browsing experience on Firefox smoother. Now, that is the attention to the Firefox web browsing experience I like to hear. That's something they've needed for a while, because have you noticed some of the websites not working so well on Firefox because Google Chrome is the dominant player out there, and so occasionally Firefox has some issues with some of the sites. So this is a way you can report those bugs and report about the sites that aren't working and help the Firefox maintainers improve Firefox for all of us.
Yeah. There's quite a bit to unpack in the original blog post if you want to go dig that up. It makes sense, I think, to a lot of us who've been paying attention to Mozilla, that they're killing off the 3D virtual worlds, to which I think, if you're like me, you're like, Mozilla was running a 3D virtual world. What? Why? And they're scaling back their VPN service, which was just repackaged. That didn't make sense. And for the past couple of years, I want to say, I think we've all been sitting back going, why are they doing all this? Like, because they were just spinning out all these little things. And you're like, okay, maybe that'll work out for you. And I was really shocked that they said they're going to be scaling back their Mastodon social, because they wanted to jump on that. Because you remember when Twitter was going to implode over the weekend and Mastodon exploded, and they wanted to jump on that wave.
Yeah.
And, Mastodon is still Mastodon. It's always going to be Mastodon. But I was surprised if they had more than 2 people working on that. I'm kind of shocked. But the announcement that everyone was excited about, the part of this announcement, hey, we're going to refocus on Firefox, to which,
yay!
The internet went, finally.
Finally, yeah.
Really? But you got to think about it, though. When they say we're going to refocus on Firefox, how are we going to do it? We're going to shove AI into it, because that's the new buzzword. Yeah,
AI, yes.
You got to be careful when you do stuff like that when your market share is 3.3%, because a lot of that 3.3%, those people are concerned about privacy.
Yes.
Or at least privacy-focused individuals, and you might drive those out. You got to be careful when you do stuff like that. But what really made me go, oh boy, the teams behind Pocket are going to be the ones working on that. Nobody likes Pocket. Nobody. Quit trying to push it.
Aw, I use it.
That makes one.
I know Pedro uses it too.
And this might sound familiar, though, because 2 years ago, in 2020, Mozilla laid off 250 employees. And that one, I remember covering on the show, because that was the servo devs and the security response teams.
Yes.
The people doing the cool work at the Mozilla Foundation. And they've been doing whatever they've been doing the past 3 years. And I don't want to be down. I just want to think I really want them to play this right, but no matter what, at the end of the day, no one has to worry about Firefox or Mozilla going anywhere for a long, long time. Mainly because Google will continue providing 80% of Mozilla's revenue to keep them around, because they need competition. They want to avoid antitrust, which always puts them in a weird position, doesn't it, when you think about it? At least to me. These are my thoughts. are you really incentivized to take down Chrome, and take down Google's browser when they're paying your bills?
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a weird spot to be in.
It is.
But it also makes sense, like, because you need to sit and think, why have they been just throwing stuff at the wall? Because they desperately don't want to be beholden to Google. Can't blame them, can you?
No, they want to do something unique.
They want to do something that makes them money.
Yeah.
You know, they 80%. I mean, this is all public information. You know, this isn't just, I went and looked this up. And it's been, 84% for the past couple of years. If that's the majority of your financing, yeah, you definitely want, maybe a VPN or whatever, something else to stick. Pushing into AI, maybe secure AI, I don't know. Like, the AI buzzword doesn't really intrigue me that much. And I definitely don't think I personally want that built into my browser.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe, just maybe they'll refocus on Firefox and get it back up to snuff, because I champion Firefox. I've been making it a point to use Firefox on the desktop just to get help push the metric a little bit. No, does it matter? One more person? No, but if there's lots of one more persons out there, maybe you're listening to the show, go give Firefox a try if you haven't tried it in a while. It's a lot better than it used to be. Keep fighting the good fight, Mozilla. Nothing but best of luck and good wishes towards the team. But
yeah, it's what Mozilla does best, is the Firefox web browser.
They've forgotten about that for the past couple of years, Joe.
They have. I know. We've been talking about that on the show for a long time.
And we got to see if they can focus on that. Because without Firefox, there is no Mozilla Foundation.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment on the video or whatever you're at, or send in an email. We might read it on this show. But we definitely have a little bit of sad news.
Yeah.
IRC. Who remembers IRC? Has anybody listening to the show ever used IRC? Probably not. Not on a Linux podcast. No. You guys probably still use ICQ. No.
Pigeon.
Pigeon. Just all the crazy stuff we used to use. AOL Instant Messenger, like all the crazy stuff. Yeah. 2.16.2 is the final release of Hexchat. And it is kind of sad. I went and looked it up. On Hexchat first rolled out on the scene in 2012 when Patrick released the first version. And here we are in 2024. And one of the maintainers, or the current maintainer, is dropping the final release. This is just a couple of small bug fixes. There's nothing major here. Nothing crazy. But Ting says, like, hey, man, this is the last release. This project, it's been unmaintained. He's done what he can just to kind of keep it up and running. And nobody has stepped up. A couple of years ago, he's like, hey, does anybody want to come back and maintain this? And the internet went, nah. He's like, okay. Now, he started working on Hexchat back when he was a teenager, but he's moved on. He's grown up. He's got other responsibilities. And, but fear not, all the data is going to be moved over to GitHub. So it'll live on until the end of Microsoft, which is good. And yeah, I went back and looked at this, and like the last update to Hexchat was in 2021 when Ping was like, nobody's maintaining this, and I'm just kind of doing what I can on the side. I feel for that. But we were discussing before we went live, very few people use IRC at this point, I'm just saying people have switched over to Matrix, or Discord is like the big thing that people have been using. And like, I'm curious as what the next thing is going to be outside of Discord, because it just keeps moving on and on and on. Nothing ever like sticks. But IRC famously has stuck. Even the XKCD, like there will always be that IRC user you got to deal with. And we've had a IRC channel for Linux Gamecast for over a decade, but I think there's like 3 people in it.
Yeah. I had signed up when we went to a new server, but I haven't used it since, because we're on Discord and Twitch chat and Google chat. Yeah.
It's all the other places. Now, I originally started using IRC back in the day for Linux Gamecast for the live shows. because we didn't really have any better options. But even back then, I'd set up a web interface so people could like log in without having to set up an IRC client and register Nick and get into the server. And that just led to all the little like crazy spam and stuff like that. So we used the IRC server as a bit of a litmus test. Now, if you knew how to get IRC set up and log into the server and get into our server, you were good to go. And it worked very, very well. I'm curious what people use these days for IRC. I checked before the show. I don't even have an IRC client installed on this box. Never did. And really the only time, I can't even say the only time, I read, because I bounce off this, because a common complaint, how many times have you been on a GitHub and you're like, oh, if you got a problem or if you need to ask a question, or even worse, if you want to download something, join our Discord. You get a link to their Discord to get it. I'm like, boom, bounce off that. That's not new. Not new, because I've run into that with open source projects in the past. I'm like, oh, if you need support or ask a question or you want to get whatever, or the doc, like join IRC. And I've always bounced off that too. Yeah, pour one out. Maybe somebody, I don't think anybody's going to step up to maintain an IRC client in 2024, which is a little sad.
It is sad.
I think the fatal blow was when the network, was it Freenode? It got bought.
Freenode, yeah.
And it split to LibreChat. Like, we still have IRC. Where's our IRC?
We're not on Freenode anymore.
We're not on Freenode anymore. Let's go take a look on our live page. LibreChat.
LibreChat. I was just trying to say that.
There we go. Hashtag. If you want to hop in, but it is linked to our Discord and Twitch chat. So at least the live chat. We have
Freenode exiting the space was really a killer for IRC. It was just so sad. And for me, I was actually so sad to hear about Hexchat dying, because Hexchat was the original client. I used to chat on Linux Gamecast with Ven and Pedro and Jordan many years ago. And then when I started here on LWDW. So it has a place in my heart for that. But it is always good to hear that the developer said that forks of the project are more than welcome. And in fact, Hexchat itself is a fork of Hexchat, which I used to use before Hexchat. And then on Terminal, I used one that you can't say on the air. So a name of one. So
we were talking about that last night in Track Media. I was like, wait, what was one? I was like, oh, that one. Everyone, if you've been around for Linux, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Hexchat was the one you started using after that one just quit being maintained, and it stopped being in like, because I have memories of like, oh, I can't get, because it was some version of Debian, or it might have been Fedora at the time. I'd upgraded to it, and I'm like, oh, that's no longer in the repo. I'm like,
that was sad.
What do I install then? I've been using that one forever. And it was definitely Hexchat that ended up using, which IRC client. Yeah, pour one out. And it was I see Monica and Jed's, like, it was a bit of a crisis because a lot of communities, we had to move our IRC. Fortunately, we had a fan member move it over for. I just got a notification. It's like, job's done. Here you go. You want to be the admin? And I'm like, nope. I will dodge management responsibility given any chance. Tell you everything's going to be in the show notes. If you are like, hey, I want to keep it up and running, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Everything's going to be in the show note. Okay, up next, we have FreeBSD announces the end of 32-bit support for future releases. And are people indifferent to this, Jill? Are they happy about it? Or are they just like, all right?
Yeah, this is a little scary, because this is the second big time that this has happened, that the crypto snaps have some bad actors in the Snap store, snapcraft.io.
We're in BSD, Jill.
Oh, what? Oh my gosh. I am sorry. I went ahead in our show notes on accident. But okay, reverse that. This is also something sad. Oh my gosh, that's the first time in a while I've done that, Ven. So this is actually an announcement I was surprised about, but I understand why they are doing it. The open source and Unix-like FreeBSD operating system will stop support for 32-bit platforms in future major releases. ARM v6, i386, and PowerPC platforms will not be included, unfortunately, in the FreeBSD 15.0 release. And with the release of FreeBSD 16.0, that will not include ARM v7. But good news is that the 32-bit binaries on 64-bit kernels will still be maintained through the stable 16 branch to enable, much easier transition to the 64-bit versions. But just like what is happening with Linux, FreeBSD, is honestly, they're realizing there is not as many 32-bit systems still in use, and focusing on development to support them takes up a lot of resources and hinders progress on new features. So going forward, 32-bit support may be extended, although if needed for certain platforms. If the community said, hey, I still need support for this old 486, they might do that. But my biggest concern about this change is all the old Internet of Things devices out there, like modems and routers that won't be getting updates anymore. But hopefully, people are learning how to upgrade properly and get newer equipment.
You're talking about modems and routers. People weren't updating to begin with.
I know. You can update. I mean, I've done them
but people
myself.
aren't updating them.
No, because the average consumer doesn't do that.
I mean, you can just log into them for them because their password's going to be admin.
Yeah. But anyways, it's just, it's actually really good because it forces companies to upgrade their hardware to 64-bit. So
I think us, if we're sitting at home on our desktops, the last 32-bit CPU, we're probably talking Northwood Pentium 4s or Athlon XPs, Saga A.
Yeah.
Hey, that is old. That is vintage, that is retro. And usually the only blip, I don't think, we were talking about that earlier. I never get into BSD. I've had to work professionally with NetBSD, but I've never taken BSD home and give it a fair shot and tried to do anything with it. Linux has always filled the need for my desktop and server type stuff that I get up to. It's just kind of following the trend. I mean, there's a diminishing returns, as this stuff gets older, the supporting 32-bit and keeping track of that, especially when something like that hasn't been made in decades. I get it. And, there's some ARM stuff that's still 32-bit, but whatever, it's going to work itself out. And there's much less of a blowback because there's for whatever reason, people don't want to install NetBSD or BSD on their vintage computers. But, they run out in force when Linux is dropping 32-bit. They're but I know. And I'm I'll say this, run a period appropriate version of BSD on your 32-bit machine. There you go. You're good to go.
There you go.
Have fun. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. Everybody loves talking about Bitcoin. Yeah, the internet's man, Bitcoin's pretty cool. Love it. Can't get enough of it. Just can't get enough of it. Well, there's been a problem. This is not a repeat, ladies and gentlemen. Those wacky snap hackers are back at it again. This comes from Popey. He wrote it over on his blog, popey.com. So if you don't know this already, the Snap Store is littered with crypto wallets, right? They're there.
Yeah.
They exist. Nothing you can do about them. Well, I mean, there's plenty you can do about them. Canonical just chooses not to. A handful of them are scams. And fake wallet yoinked around $490,000 worth of magic internet money from someone recently. And this is not a repeat from 2018 or 2023 when other fake apps did similar things. Pope has a one-shot command to remove all of the known hacked snaps, because they might have been pulled from the store. They might still be sitting on your system. And of course, Popey proposes that Canonical try a bold and innovative approach. Very bold, very innovative to preventing this from happening in the future. Okay, you ready for this? Mandate and verify published applications are officially published by the upstream developers. I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's wild, isn't it?
Logical.
That's crazy. Man, I hope you get some traction on such a crazy idea there. If that sounds familiar, that's what everyone's been asking them to do since this first happened back in 2018. Yeah. So, it's a solid point, but, let's be real. This is a Snap store. This is not Steam. You're talking about like a one at most 2-person job to like take care and verify this stuff. You don't need an entire army of people to do this. And until then, if you're going to be using, because I have nothing against Ubuntu. I'm not going to get on the Ubuntu hate parade. I think they serve a purpose in the market. But snaps are dumb. And you're not going to change my mind because I also think Flatpaks are dumb. Ooh, that'll piss off everybody, huh? Do what I do. If you are on a system with Flatpak or snaps installed, purge it. Sudo apt purge snap. Also sudo apt purge Flatpak. Get done. Get wrecked. Make the entire internet mad because you're not going to sell me containerized applications. Because once you make the attack vector simple enough for a Windows user to like click on a thing and it just installs, you're going to get people that are like, wait a minute. So they'll just install stuff, right? And I'm like, well, let's go ahead and do that. But it does boggle me because I do want Canonical to succeed here.
Yeah.
I like the
absolutely.
idea of a curated application store. Like the Snap Store is not a horrible idea. And it just low yield thermonuclear warhead drop, boom, explodes every time something like this happens. Like, why are you not vetting this stuff, especially like from companies of like, this is supposed to be from this company? It's like, no, it's James in Minnesota version of this, and hopefully it doesn't have anything sketchy in the background, instead of being like Spotify official app that would take your login and credentials. It should say James from Minnesota made a thing that kind of like, it should not have Spotify anywhere on it, whatever. It might maybe have a tag and be very aware because that seems to be the attack factor of,
Yeah.
and it's easy and it's very easy to go, oh, you know what? Crypto bros get what they deserve. And you know what? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. That's not where it stops though. All of a sudden this becomes far less entertaining when you've downloaded something and plugged in your credentials, be it a Spotify or with any type of information about yourself that requires a login. Turns out it's not from that company. Then it's not so funny, Something to think about. And I'm kind of surprised about but the argument can be made. But can't you just go to GitHub and you can, but the GitHub page is not a store, despite what the internet thinks, right, Joel?
Yes. It's a development community.
We were laughing at a Reddit post on our programming earlier.
Yeah,
a kid. I want to believe it's a kid. My brain's like, oh, please be a dumb teenager, because I remember being a dumb teenager and I can empathize with that. I'm like, okay, I remember doing dumb stuff. They were mad. They got on and they're like, developers should not post code applications on GitHub unless they provide an exe. They don't have time for your nerd code. Just give me my program where I can download it.
Lord.
Dude, yeah. I didn't understand, man. I'm like, what? And this is on our programming. You can look it up. We looked it up before the show.
Yeah.
And the only, just that kind of blows my mind. And again, your dangers of exe. GitHub is not a store, kids. What really made me go cross-eyed a bit is I posted in our Discord, I saw somebody on Mastodon regurgitate this, a Linux user, not a Windows user, a Linux user, regurgitate this about there needs to be binaries for. I'm like, you know what? Get wrecked. If you're a developer, you don't owe anybody anything. Like, GitHub's for your code. You don't even owe anybody any. I don't expect binaries, and neither should anybody else. Like, you know what? Be the change. If you want binaries, why don't you take the time, learn, and help that developer build them and distribute them instead of just whining on the internet? Joe, what do you think about crypto snaps? Are you going to go download something tonight?
No, absolutely not. But one thing I want to say is that like FlatHub, they've actually have verified published applications now. And I think it would be a good idea for Snap to do that. In fact, I know Mark Shuttleworth has talked about that in the past. So I'm hoping this this will, encourage them to start thinking about their security of their the Snap system, especially because Snap is wonderful. It's great for server side, and it's the only containerized package out there for server side. Flatpak is desktop, and App Images are desktop. So we need snaps in the Linux ecosystem. And so, but it has to be a place where people feel secure to go to download, to use them. Like Popey has said, Alan Pope originally worked at Canonical.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, you can use Flatpaks anywhere. You can use snaps, but like, here's the solution, people. Like, again, containerization. I always look for, because again, I don't want to be that person who's like, I just hate on something. No.
Yeah.
Always try to find a use case in like embedded systems. Maybe Snap, Flatpak. That makes sense.
Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Again, maybe. But on the desktop, don't. Or do. You do you. That's the beautiful thing about Linux. I'm like, I don't agree with you. And I'm like, that's cool. We can still hang out and play Sonic the Hedgehog. That's awesome.
Then, or you could be like me, and I do enjoy using my Steam Deck, which uses FlatHub. So,
yeah, like again,
awesome.
Like there you go. There's a great like a not embedded device, but a purpose-built device, man. I'm like, yeah,
exactly. It's beautiful.
You know, if you're thinking about Valve, I was like, we got to make this thing like, you can't make it idiot-proof, but like, let's make it idiot-resistant, and like that's. Container, it's an easy thing. Chromebook's another good example, right? You just
absolutely.
blow it away and fix it.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, everybody. It's been fun. It's been real. All those other stuff. The hip kids say no cap. Hashtag yeet. I don't know. If you like what we do and you want to help us out, head over to linuxthemecast.com. We got a support tab. We're on Patreon. We got LibrePay, PayPal, and of course Bitcoin. I'll convert that to hardware. And Amazon wish list. Jill's got one, Pedro's got one, Jordan's got one. I got one for the studio. And of course, we have a merch store with pretty decent merch too. It's none of the super cheap stuff, and it's not overpriced because I'm not trying to make money off of it. If you want to wear something with LWDW or Linux Gamecast on you, and of course, there is a itemized list of everything in the studio. So if you're ever looking behind me or in a video and you're like, "What's that?"
Yeah,
that's what it is. Everything's there. I just added that Magewell card.
Yeah, I see that.
Even shock replacements for this chair. Everything is on there in case of emergency, because I can be forgetful sometimes, and I'm like, I need another one of those things, and I go there and I take a look. We do appreciate your support. If you can back us on Patreon, you get this live and uncut in podcast format the same day, but we do have a live and uncut YouTube channel that goes out a week later if you want that, but you also get an ad-free version of the video, which we're able to put out for our Patreon subscribers as a little thank you. It's a higher quality video than what you'd get on YouTube, because I don't have any control of what YouTube does to mangle it. Like, Patreon just lets me upload the actual video that I want to put up there, which is good on them. And of course, no ads, access to our Discord, and come hang out with us on Tuesdays and Fridays for Track Mania, which we do. We love playing an 11-year-old arcade physics racing simulation game.
Yeah. I love that game.
It's a new experience each and every week. We do 14 new tracks, and we get together and we vote on them, and servers up all the time. So even if you want to be like, I don't want to do the live thing, but I want to get in there and like crush your times, noobs, you can. Because, we keep track of everything. It's on our own little private letterboards. Well, come hang out. Have a good time with it. All right, Joe. Let's bring up some music.
Yeah, we're going to thank our patrons.
And see how many you can get this week, all right?
Oh, geez. Well, right now in chat, Strider's in chat, and Monica's in chat, and Mirror PPC, and my Steve husband, and Turbo Treesloth. And we got our Empty Blasphemia, and Artherin, and we got our Sea Monsters, David, Darkwing, System T, Turnover, Ogiwan, and Foxdog, Swine, Piper, and our chairlings, Rohit, Mir, Steve. There's several Steves. We got several Steves, and my Steve husband.
Don't worry, kids. Steve's not real. He can't hurt you.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone. Do.
There we go.
Yay! I can't believe I missed the segment. That's the first time I've done that in like 2 years.
Not only did you miss the segment, you took mine.
Yeah, I did. Well, I thought, I'm like, oh shoot, did I just totally spaced. I thought my FreeBSD one was at the end. So, and because you put the camera on me, so I kept talking. It worked. Ben can edit that nicely.
Why would I edit that on?
Oh, me messing up. That's okay. We're not perfect. That's pretty funny.
Thanks, Steve. All right.
Oh, welcome back, and almost every week, Steve's very own. This is awesome. Yes. Yeah. Steve's very own is in the house. He's one of my favorite people in the Linux community. Yeah, back to you, Steve.
Good times.
Oh, hi, Chipsy. Hi, Kaidoobie. I always liked his name on YouTube, Kaidoobie. He's so cute. Oh, Tree Sloth, that was so funny because I hadn't seen your. I mean, I know what you look like, of course, because of Trackmania, but I hadn't seen your picture on your avatar on YouTube, so I zoomed into it. See, we have a Michael and we have a John on Trackmania, and we have a Nubbin. Nubbin is his is a name I don't say his first name too often, but I know it. I'm just forgetting it right now. And we have Alan that comes in to Trackmania.
Chibs technically has an Android phone.
Mm-hmm.
Take your wins where you can get them on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, your Pop. Yeah, Steve's very own. I know. We've all been there with Pop. Yeah, that loader is not the best. I do prefer Grub.
Laughs in Debian.
But I love my Pop.
Yeah, use what you want. I look at Pop like I look at like Ubuntu. But don't worry, like the older you get and the more cantankerous you get, you'll end up on Debian.
I went reverse. I was always using Debian and now I'm on Ubuntu. How did that happen? No, I have Debian on a lot of my old machines.
The best Linux distribution is the one you're currently using. Don't listen to anybody, including me. Like it's the one that does whatever you want. Like,
no, I use Pop to whenever we're in Trackmania. That's what I'm using to play Trackmania. I have all my computers have several different partitions, and this my rig I'm using right now has 3, and right now I'm on Ubuntu 23.10. Yeah, Nobera is awesome. Arch! Love the Arch.
Manjaro.
But I have every distro installed on hundreds of different machines. Because I like to test them all. And talk about them on the show. That comes in handy.
I like being able to, you can have hundreds of distros installed to your thumb drive now.
Yeah, it's really convenient, actually.
Desnapped. Yeah, like, my logic thinking has always been, I grew up with Slackware at first, then I moved on to Red Hat, and when Red Hat was like, we're no longer making a non-commercial offering. And then I started with Fedora and I went on to that. Then I went to Ubuntu, and I actually ran Ubuntu LTS here in the studio.
I remember you did. Yeah.
Why? Because it was the only distribution that would boot the new system that I built that had this weird thing in it. New at the time, it was called a UEFI.
Yeah, I remember that.
Instead of a BIOS. And you know what? Canonical did a good job there. It actually booted and got everything installed. Mm-hmm. Then I quit. It was that afternoon because they had already pushed out Snaps. Oh, and Snaps has been around for a while, kids. And I was like, all right, whatever. They put GNOME, I think it was GNOME Performance Monitor.
Oh, yeah.
They made it a Snap after making the calculator a Snap, because I remember the first time opening calculator, and I'm like, where's my, because you click, it's calculator, it should be instantaneous. You're like, did I always assume it's my fault. And I went back and I start to go into the menu, click on it again, then it pops up and I'm like, what is going on here? And I looked into it and no. As soon as you started, I was like, we're done with that.
Yeah, I love Mandrake too. Mandrake, Mandriva, PC Linux OS. All the derivatives of Mandrake are great.
I like how Arthurian's Ars got caught up in Auto Moderator.
Yeah.
I just had to manually approve it. Yeah, UEFI was a mess for Linux for a minute. It was.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Canigan. Yeah, Synaptic is my favorite package manager. I use that on every distro, especially, of course, the Debian and Ubuntu base, but sometimes others too.
I have made it a point to wean myself because I use Synaptic for everything for the longest time, and I remember forced myself to learn just how to use app from the command line.
Yeah, that's what I mostly use is apt.
Just works. I mean, it can be depending on what you're doing, though. I mean, this is not it's not one or the other. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's easier to crack open Synaptic to do certain tasks.
Do searches and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. I will go down fighting the entire time about containerization for desktop applications being just not the right way to do things. Coming from a support role of helping people troubleshoot their problems, and I see it with primarily the Flatpak with OBS. There's no advantage of running OBS in a Flatpak other than I install with one click because there's no security advantage because you got to punch so many holes in it to get it functional, and you run into problems with digital audio workstations. And I can only speak to the stuff I encounter. I'm not here to offer you theory about what's wrong or what's right with them. With plugins, they require your digital audio workstation requires all your plugins. So I'm like, then you're punching holes and stuff, and then whoever made the Snap or the Flatpak's got to keep it updated and in sync and just all the program. Loki games, man. I have every Loki game but Heavy Metal. Not because I ever went back to collect them. I bought them at an EB stores. I wonder how long Jill's gonna keep going here before.
Oh, she's.
There we go.
I was muted. I'm sorry.
I didn't know you were talking, man. I just happened to look up in the return video and I saw you hammering away. And I'm like, I'm sure you're up to something over there. I double checked. Did this thing glitch again? I'm like, nope.
Yeah, sorry. I sneezed and then I didn't turn the microphone back on.
The only box I kept, man, was Heavy Gear 2. I think I have that one complete in box, and it's not it's not collector. I mean, it's been moved a couple of times. And I just bought them. It was at EB. They were all 90% off, and these were all modern double and triple A games at the time on Linux. I just walked in there, and they were on a back shelf. I was like, ooh, they're all 90% off, and I grabbed all the boxes and I just laid them down. And the dude's like, these only run. I was like, oh, I know. Let's go. Give me.
Yeah.
So, I got like Quake 3 Arena, like it just come out too. And I got it for like a few bucks. I got it for like $7 or $8, man. $10 too.
Oh my God. I picked up a bunch of them at Borders when they were going out of business because they had overstock and they brought all their old stuff out. I was like, oh, so I bought the whole collection.
But the sad thing is then I went home and I Googled, I'm like, how's Loki? Oh, Loki's go. Oh, I didn't know. Okay. It was bittersweet. Yeah, I was just shocked to see Loki games on a shelf. Dude, we're probably talking about like 2001, dude. Linux games on a shelf, man. I'm like,
yeah.
What? That was hard to wrap your brain around.
We had them at Borders, and Crown Books was another one that had them. I was amazed. And they put them next to the Linux books. That was so cool. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I even bought ones that I already had just because I knew, Loki was going, and it was, just for collectors. I have some of the ones in the metal tins.
Yeah, I have
Heavy Gear Solid. I think it was in a metal tin. I can't remember.
I think the only one they had that was in the tin was the Quake one.
It was Quake. Okay.
Yeah, like my. Let me.
I thought the Metal Gear was in a tin, but I don't know. I need to look at my collection. It's.
I don't know where it's at. Again, I didn't like. I don't have a collection. I just have the. I just bought them at the time for whatever reason. I kept that box. I think. You know what? I don't have a. Wait, did I get a box for Myth? I don't think I got a box for Myth 2, which was their first game they released. I think I just got a jewel case for that because I had to order it online through the mail through.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, some of mine are from eBay.
Yeah, I never went back and bought them later. Like the ones I have are the ones I bought then.
Yeah.
You know me, I love collecting stuff.
Yeah.
The only reason I have those is because nobody wanted them. Because I guarantee you I've tried to give them away over the years. All right, everybody. Cool. I gotta go.
Oh, Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Cool. Chipsy.
Well, I don't know if I mentioned that.
That's one I gotta play now because I had started playing it way back when. I played it for a few hours and that was it.
Oh, let me see. I forgot to give that a mention.
Oh yeah.
I put this up. If you want to practice your mixing for podcasts and stuff like that, you can download it. Come get it. I got a zip file. There's your MD5 to make sure you're not getting hacked and individual tracks. You can drop those in Audacity. And go play with it. It's been getting a fair amount of traffic because it is now on the wiki for our podcasting, which I hate this new interface. How do you even get to?
Yeah.
Can I go to old.reddit? Because I'm old.
Yeah. I use the other applications for Reddit. I don't use their default one.
See, look, it's right here. This is such a better layout than whatever that was. If we go to our podcasting wiki.
There we go.
And we go to the real podcasting wiki, which they need to fix that. And if we go to mixing and editing, there it is. That's our link. Oh, we've been getting some traffic from that.
There we go.
We'll have a generation of kids learning how to do basic audio mixing and correction using Linux Gamecast. I love it. Cool. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Jordan will be back tomorrow with something. I think he's going through Borderlands.
Oh, has he started up again? Borderlands? I thought he was doing Tiny Tina's.
Oh, but that's Borderlands.
Well, yeah. But it's a different game.
I think it's got Borderlands in the title.
Yeah.
Or Wonderland or whatever. I don't know.
Wonderland, yeah. Tiny Tina's. Bye, Steve's very own. Thank you for joining us once again. It's always great to see you and have you in.
But he's looking for people to come join him. So if you want to get on that, at Reply Frojo, enter Discord, and you can just hop in and help him out if you want. Until then, everybody, have a great rest of your week. I'll be back on, well, we'll be back on Friday.
Yeah.
We'll be back on for Trackmania, 7:30. And Saturday for Linux Gamecast Weekly. We got a lot to talk about on Saturday, boy. A lot to talk about. A lot of stuff is going down. But we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Mm-hmm.